Okay, good afternoon again. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. I know that some teachers always come a little late to the webinar, so we hope that everyone is getting into our session, our today's interesting session. Today we start the webinar series number 2. So it's the second part of the year of the round of webinars that we have sponsored or created by ECUATESOL with Ecuadorian, with national and international professionals that they are willing to help us share in their methodologies, their knowledge, their techniques that they apply in their English classes to contribute for all of us to grow as professionals in the English field. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much from all the provinces that you are attending. I have here from, of course, Marjorie, welcome from Quito, Eri from Riobamba. I have Mercedes from Loja, and I have well-known faces here that are always with us. So thank you very much for being here. Remember that this round of webinars are sponsored by or created by ECUATESOL, the Ecuadorian Association of Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages. If you are not part of ECUATESOL, please make sure that you can send us an email or contact us so you can be part of our list of members from ECUATESOL, and then you can enjoy all the benefits that we have. No, remember that we are sponsored as well, or sometimes we collaborate in some programs with the U.S. Embassy, and they are always helping us with free courses, free webinars, free training courses for English teachers. And one of the conditions is to be part of ECUATESOL, to be an active member of ECUATESOL. No? So welcome everyone, and thanks for being here. The same thing, remember that ECUATESOL is an affiliate, official affiliate from TESOL International. No? So we as ECUATESOL affiliates, we can enjoy for some of the TESOL International Association training sessions and webinars that they offer. We're always posting information in the WhatsApp group, so welcome to join that and welcome to be part of this huge and interesting community of TESOL International as well. And we are in these webinars with the partnership with Yachay Tech University, the Universidad Nacional de Educación. Actually, our two presenters that we have today are ex-students and graduated professionals from Universidad Nacional de Educación. And we are sponsored by ITEP as well, no? That they are collaborating, and we have good news for all the affiliates from ECUATESOL that ITEP is offering discounts in training courses and international exams as well if you are willing or you need to certify your English language level, no, your proficiency. Same thing, is always good to remember you about our website. You can always visit us. And talking about our website, I would like to mention that in our website, we have a part about members. So if you know that we are not charging any fee, so being member of ECUATESOL is completely free, and we want to continue doing that because we know the importance of having free training, professional development in Ecuador, and have this platform as ECUATESOL for us to be ponentes, presenters, and we have good news that in the close future, we are going to start with some projects where you can get involved as volunteer. You know that associations work with volunteers, so if you want to be volunteering with us, like being part of ECUATESOL, an active member, helping us with training courses, helping us to organize. Remember that in 2026, we are going to have our big international convention. So if you want to help us with that, please send us an email or contact us through our website so you can officially be a volunteer of ECUATESOL. Same thing, we have our Instagram account. Please follow us in our Instagram account. It's important because we are sending job opportunities for if you're looking for a job or improve your job place. The same thing about training courses and opportunities for scholarships that you can apply. So follow the ECUATESOL network, which is really important. The same thing, register as a member, as I was mentioning before. So you can QR code here, you can take the code, or if not, send an email as well to us, and we will be more than happy to contact you and send you the link where you can register as a member. The same thing, I guess most of you or all of you, you are part of our ECUATESOL network, which is a WhatsApp group. You know, WhatsApp is very useful right now to send direct communication and like in a minute communication. So we are sending information through WhatsApp as well, so you can be in contact with us. Now, some news is that we activated our YouTube channel as well, no? So all these webinars are being uploaded in our YouTube channel. So please help us following our YouTube channel, and if you want to make some comments, that will be part of the requirements to get your certification, no? Follow us, click like it in the webinar that you have been to, and then write a comment if you want. Just mention something that was really interesting about the webinar, or how the webinar was useful for you or is going to be useful for you in the future, and that will be part of the requirements to get your certification, no? Of not only for participation but for approval of the webinars. And finally, our equatisol@gmail.com, which is our official email address where you can contact us if you have any news, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions. You're always more than welcome to send an email to us. So, not to take more time for our today's presentation, because our presentation today is really interesting. The name of our presentation that we have today is From Struggling Readers to Confident Learners: How to Intensive Reading Approach Can Improve Comprehension in EFL Students. So just reading the topic of the presentation, I guess it's going to be an amazing presentation. All of us, we know that we struggle with the students when we are doing reading activities in our classes. So I guess, and I know that Erika and Evelyn will share with us really interesting ideas how to improve that in our English classes. So just let me give a very brief introduce to our two amazing presenters that we have today. So Erika and Evelyn are graduated students from the English language teaching program at the Universidad Nacional de Educación, UNAE. They have experience as English teachers, having been volunteers and practicum students in various institutions and schools in Ecuador. They are passionate about educational innovation, and they enjoy implementing exclusive and dynamic strategies in their classrooms to foster an effective and meaningful learning process, especially with the students who have specific needs. You know how difficult it is to incorporate activities for students with special needs in our classrooms, no? So let's enjoy this webinar today. If you have any questions, the chat is open, so you can always send a message if you need any help. And please interact with Evelyn and Erika. You can activate your microphone, or you can send some questions, or if you have any doubts, send through the chat box. I will be checking the chat box constantly, or if not, Evelyn and Erika will be interacting with you. So welcome, Evelyn. Welcome, Erika. The webinar is all yours. I will just stop sharing my screen so you can start sharing your presentation. And welcome and good luck.
Thank you, teacher. Okay, so dear Evelyn, could you share, please, the screen? Okay. So once again, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name, as teacher said, is Erika Mejía, and I'm here with my colleague, Evelyn Peralta. We are excited to be with you in this virtual session. Today, we're going to present our research, improving students' reading comprehension throughout the intensive reading approach. Well, we took this study in a private high school here in Cuenca. So we are gonna share what we did, what we found, and most importantly, how this approach can be used in classroom. And we have also prepared some interactive parts so we can learn together how to apply this approach. We hope you enjoyed this during this session and take away useful ideas. Let's get started.
Okay, now I give a little introduction about our study. We did it. During the ninth semester, teaching practicums at private high school, we observed a poor level of reading, or reading competence and a lack of valuable approach, how to develop and improving reading comprehension skills in English class of the 12th grade of the high school. All of them had a competence level A2, according to the Ecuador's EFL curriculum, but the majority of the students had a low level, that according they need to have. Through participant observation, we found that students face challenges in developing their reading skill. For instance, the learners had trouble acquiring comprehension, the read materials presented by the teacher, showing comprehension skill below 2A2 level according to the CFR. Their struggle extend to identify the main ideas and support the details conveying the text, which didn't seem to produce a coherent summaries based on their understanding. Uh, and so the importance of this study is to address of challenges of student reading comprehension and the increased significance of English learning in Ecuador. To follow exploratory action research study will be focused on applying the intensive reading approach. This approach was selected due to the many positive studies showing how it enhances reading comprehension through deliberate and structured reading activities. And also, there are different authors that say that throughout the intensive reading approach has a significant effect on student reading comprehension, allowing them to understand a specific text, and construct a sentence in their language. And this helps you to understand better the different structure they have in the reading and help you to improve this part too.
Okay, so now that my colleague has introduced our study, I would like to present the research question and the general objective. So the main research question was, in this case, how does the intensive reading approach improve students' literal reading comprehension? And to answer this, the general objective was to explore how intensive reading approach can enhance reading comprehension.
Okay, in this part, I can give a little introduction for the different definition we have. We have right in their study to understand better this topic. In the first, in the first is the reading comprehension. Reading is more than letter recognition, but involves determining meaning and context. In this case, the comprehension can be categorized in three primary levels: is interpretive and literal, interpretative, and critical. However, for this study, we focus on the first level of comprehension, which is a literal reading comprehension. According to Chen 2011, mentioned that the basic literal comprehension is known as reading in the line or reading literally, because it's the use of elementary linguistic skill to interpret the author intent meaning for research. In the case of the extensive reading, intensive reading entails the gather information. Besides, Niemann and Solhan 2022 argue that the reading instruction is directly associated with intensive reading activities in which a student must read brief text and comprehend their literal significance. In the other case, there are different intensive reading activities we can include in your classes. Um, And so there are different authors mentioned that the Boston reading comprehension involves practice and participate in many different kinds of reading activities to can improve this skill. And so the next example of these activities is making prediction, brainstorming, true and false, multiple choice, fill in the blank, and close-ended question and summarize. Okay, in the part of the methodology, we use a different instruments that help you to know how improve the student throughout this methodology. The first is a diagnostic and somatic test. In this case, we can mention that we use the Cambridge A2 exam or CAT exam. That is more that due to this exam measure exclusive the A2 level, and so according to the EFL Ecuadorian EFL curriculum, these students they had more or less A2 level, and so for the reason we choose this exam. In this case, the diagnostic we implement in the first week, where to understand or measure the level of this student. This help you this help you to select the different readings according to the level, and also with a similar topics for this for the student. In the case the summative test, we apply in this intervention because we compare the result of the diagnostic and summative test to know to know the students improve with this methodology. In the second part is the observation checklist. The observation checklist obtain a set of things or criteria to observe can mark or score based on their observation. In addition, it was used in each interaction, allowing researchers to examine critical aspects such as student participation, interaction, and how AR materials enhance or improve learners' literary reading comprehension. And then finally is a focus group discussion. We decide to do this focus group discussion to know what is the student perspective using this methodology or this approach, sorry. And also in this case, we select randomly different students to can do it in more natural and no and more natural at this. And also we use a semi-structured question where the student can answer friendly and give their opinion about this. The participant, this exploratory action research was conducted face-to-face at private school in Cuenca. Besides the study focused on 27 students in the 12th grade of high school, ages 15 and 17 years old, more or less.
Okay, so in this study, we aim to improve a student's literal reading comprehension using this approach that we mentioned before. And we conduct 8 weekly sessions, each lasting 80 minutes, where activities align to the curriculum and, of course, the students' interest. Each topic was taught once a week, allowing students time to process and reflect on the material. As you could appreciate here, we have some topics that were interested for the students, like TV shows, some cases of mystery, and of course, artificial intelligence that now is a tendency here in our country. So yes, we'll continue, my dear.
Sorry. Okay, there are different activities that can use in different pre-reading part and the reading stage of this approach. The first is pre-reading activities in this case. In this case, you can use the different activities. The first is present the vocabulary is a pre-reading activities when the student can connect what is the future topic for the reading. And also, this helps you to the student understand better the different words when I reading. In this case, you can use this template for if you decide to apply this approach and this activity in your next class. In this case, in the column A is words that they are in the reading. In the column B, you can include image or meanings of the different words. And the student, I need to match the correct word with the image. For example, passport is with the letter A, and so you can write here or only say in this. The second pre-activity is a prediction question. Where you need to write a question and ask randomly student, that helps you to understand better the topic or connect better. Is a good idea. And also you can practice your speaking in some cases, and so it's a good tip. The second is a will reading activities. In this part, you can present the test and present the text and can say the different students read aloud, and this helps you to pay attention in the reading. And obviously, there are other activities that can use. There is the skimming, scanning, open question based on the reading, true and false, and multiple choice questions. That does help you to know if the student understand very well the text that's reading before. And the final stage is for reading activities. In this part, you can use the different activities for this case. But in one of class, we decide use a graphic organizer when the student can organize better the ideas about the text. In the first part is the title, the other is main idea of the text, and you divide in support details, new vocabulary they learn during this section, and a conclusion. And the other good idea is where the student summarize in own words about the reading. This helps you to know if the student understand the whole reading and can write their opinion.
Well, so in this study, we explore the impact of this approach on improving a students' literal reading comprehension. So the results of these show that first, diagnosing a student's levels before and after implementing intensive reading approach. Initially, most of the students were at pre-A1 and A1 levels. With a basic understanding of text, after implementing this approach, every student showed improvement and 3 even reached a B2 level. So these demonstrate that the intensive reading approach can effectively improve a student's reading comprehension. Regarding with the second, activities such as predicting text, vocabulary checking, summarizing, help students to be engaged more deeply throughout these sessions. And these activities not only improve their comprehension, but also boost their confidence and retention of that vocabulary. Finally, we have reflecting on a student's perception of this approach. Students gave positive feedback. They felt more confident and motivated because this approach allowed them to interact actively with text, and this significantly improved their attitudes toward reading, which is something sometimes is very difficult to have this attention of the students, and also contribute to the overall success of this approach in enhancing their comprehension. Well, it's something important to mention here that we had some external factors that can influence the results. These include that some students took English classes outside of the study, well, during this study, as well as students' perceptions of both during the diagnostic and summative test, which play a role in shaping their motivation and effort throughout the intervention. In conclusion, I would like to say that the intensive reading approach improve students' reading comprehension, engagement, and of course, motivation. These positive results suggest that throughout this approach, we can have an effective way that we can enhance our students' literacy skills.
Okay, and now
I think that we have a question from Gina, Erika, and Evelyn.
okay.
Okay, thank you. It's not a question. It's only to support that it's a good the process of the reading, because the students motivate with a colorful vocabulary, especially for kids. Is it possible to share again the diapositiva with during the reading, please? Because I couldn't cap.
Yes.
This is pre-reading, during the reading.
Yes, it's pre-reading activity, and you can present the vocabulary that help you to a student connect the future words that the new words for in the next reading, and it is more attractive for little kids or the elementary school, and you can connect more easier the words with the definition.
Next, please. If you can. Yeah, and next, because while, yeah, during the read that. Okay, wait, please. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Yes, Marjorie.
Thank you, Evelyn and Erika. Yeah, I have a question. How did you select the text? How do you select the material that that your students use during this project?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, we take into account the interests of the students. We took a survey, and of course, based on the curriculum, on the Ecuadorian curriculum.
Okay, a survey. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, now give in practice this word intervention, and so we design little activities where include the word that mentioned before. Okay, now I present this. The first activity is the present vocabulary. In this case, we decide to put the meaning of the different words. And so, can you have more or less 5 minutes to read the column A, this is the words, and the column B, the definition, and try to guess after these 5 minutes. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay, the time up. Now I give this activity. I try. Okay, sorry. Now I in the chat Zoom, please write the answer of the different words. Okay, we will start with the first word. The first is big. What do you think is the correct answer? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or H? Please write in the chat room. Okay. B, okay. Okay, what is the correct answer? Yes, it's the letter B. Can you help me reading the definition, please?
Unclear, not specific, or definite.
Thank you, Marjorie. Okay, the next word, to carry out a task. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, letter A. Okay. Thank you for the answer. Yes, is the letter A. So can you help me with the reading, please?
Me. To
Okay.
perform a complete job.
Okay, thank you.
Three with D.
Okay, now the number 3, democratic. What do you think?
I think with letter D, based on the idea that everyone is equal and should be involved in making decisions.
Okay, yes, it's the letter D. Thank you, Gina. Okay, now Harricher, please. Sorry. Sorry, I put the answer. Okay, can you help me reading the definition for letter 4? For word 4, sorry. Yes, Axel.
Okay, letter 4 you said, right?
Sí, yes.
Okay, a system where members are ranked according to their status or authority.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the number 5, to come out win. What do you think is the correct answer?
Letter E.
Yeah, can you help me reading, please, the definition?
Sure. To think of something such as an idea or plan.
Okay, thank you. Resentment. Number 6.
Letter H.
Letter H, okay. Yes. Can you help me reading, please?
Me.
Okay, Janet, please.
Okay. Dissatisfaction and bad feelings from being treated unfairly.
Okay, thank you. Then number 7, to be perceived.
Letter.
Yes, sorry, And the last one?
Letter T.
Yes. Okay. A tip for this activity is you can practice to the pronunciation too, so you can present the words and practice the pronunciation of this word when you're a student. And other tip is to ask the student for the English dictionary to help to find the definition more quickly, this word, and so it's more interactive and attractive for the student.
Okay, so as we mentioned, some activities were interest for our students. In this case, we are gonna apply brainstorming. So please now look at carefully these pictures and think about it. What do they show? What do they have in common? And please write it on here in the chat box, please. Okay, so think about it. What do they show? What comes to your mind when you see these pictures? Maybe, okay, we have teamwork. Okay, maybe more ideas about these pictures. Be tolerant. Okay, collaboration. Okay. Okay. So, well, unity. Okay. Goals. Okay, thank you. Volunteers. Thank you, Patricia. Okay, so now that we got some answers, once again, please write in the chat what could be the topic of these maybe of these. What can be the topic? We have leadership, friendship. Okay, more closely. Yes. Okay. Collaborative work lead you to succeed. Okay. Yes, almost closely. Okay. So now let's check what is the topic.
Okay, the topic for this activity is a culture expectation and leadership. Is in this case we share. I will share a document where is the or reading. Sorry. Okay, I send the link for the chat soon. In part of this activity, you need to read the whole text and try to answer the questions. In this part, we apply the literal reading comprehension. This basically is to read literal that say the author. And so for this activity, have 5 minutes more to do this activity, and after that to add what is the answer and try to interact the different answer you have. Okay, I'm trying to do more interactive this part, and so we decide to read aloud the different part of the reading. And so, can you help me reading the first paragraph, please?
Okay, me.
Read.
Uh,
Okay, Patricia.
Gabriela worked for a multinational company as a successful project manager in Brazil and was transferred to manage a team in Sweden. She was excited about her new role, but soon realized that managing her new team would be a challenge.
Thank you. Can you continue, Marjorie?
Okay. Despite their friendliness, Gabriela didn't feel respect as a leader. Her new staff would question her proposals openly in meetings, and when she gave them instructions on how to carry out a task, they would often go about it in their own way without checking with her. When she announced her decisions on the project, they would continue giving their opinions as if it was still up for discussion.
Okay, someone more, please.
Okay,
me.
Me,
Okay, Janet.
Okay. After weeks of frustration, Gabriela emailed her Swedish manager about the issue she was facing with her team. Her manager simply asked her if she felt her team was still performing and what she thought will help her better collaborate with her team members. Gabriela found her manager vague and didn't feel as he was managing the situation satisfactorily.
Thank you. Someone more?
What Gabriela was experiencing was a cultural clash in expectations. She was used to more hierarchical framework where the team leader and manager took control and gave specific instructions on how things were to be done. This more directive management style worked well for her and her learned in Brazil, but did not transfer well to her new learned in Sweden, who were more used to a flatter hierarchy where decisions making was more democratic. When Gabriela took the issue to her Swedish manager, rather than slipping in with directions about what to do, her manager took on the role of coach and focused on getting her to come up with her own solutions instead.
Thank you. Okay, the next paragraph.
I think that Eri wanna read, but okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Dutch social psychologist Gern Hofstede uses the concept of power distance to describe how power is distributed and how hierarchy is perceived in different cultures. In her previous work environment, Gabriela was used to a high power distance culture where power and authority are respected and everyone has their rightful place. In such a culture, leaders make the big decisions and are not often challenged. Her Swedish team, however, were used to working in a low power distance culture where subordinates often work together with their bosses to find solutions and make decisions. Here, leaders act as coaches and mentors who encourage independent thought and expect to be challenged.
Me. Next.
Okay.
When Gabriela became aware of the cultural differences between her and her team, she took the initiative to have an open conversation with them about their feelings, about her leadership, pleased to be asked for their thoughts. Gabriela's team openly expressed that they were not used to being told what to do. They enjoyed having more room for initiative and creative freedom. When she told her team exactly what she needed them to do, They felt that she didn't trust them to do their job well. They realized that Gabriela was taking it personally when they tried to challenge or make changes to her decisions, and were able to explain that it was how they'd always worked.
Okay, the last one, please.
Me, good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, with a better understanding of the underlying reason behind each other's behavior, Gabriela and her team were able to adapt their way of working. Gabriela was then able to make adjustments to her management styles so as to better fit the expectations of her team, and more effectively motivate her team to achieve their goals.
Thank you. Thank you for all to participate in this part. Okay, now I pass for the next activity is the multiple choice questions. And so you need to write the answer again in the chat Zoom. Okay. The first question. Where did Gabriela work before moving to Sweden? What do you think? Okay, letter B. Yeah, okay. The answer, yes, is letter B. Okay, the second one is, what position did Gabriela hold in the company? Okay, letter C. Okay, C, Mercedes, okay. Yes, project manager, letter C. Sorry. Okay, the number 3, how did Gabriela feel about her team at first in Sweden? Okay, letter A. Okay. Yes, she believed it didn't respect Arges a leader. Okay, the next. What was the reaction of Gabriela's team when she gave instruction? What do you think the answer? Okay. Is letter D. They didn't think in their own way. Okay. The next part, the number 5. What did Gabriela do after feeling frustrated? Doris Torres, sí. Patricia, sí. Okay. Thank you. Yes, the letter C. She mailed her Swedish manager. And the final question is, how did the Swedish manager respond to Gabriela's email? Letter D. Okay. Letter D. Okay, thank you. Yes, he asked questions to help her find our solution. Thank you for the participation in this part. Now, continue my classmate.
Okay, so now I would like to mention here that we are gonna make a summary of the text that we already read. And in this case, we're gonna use our own words. Something that I would like to mention here in the case of, especially with teenagers, I would like to mention that you can use piece of papers, markers, pencil colors, wherever you want. And of course, you can be in this way, you can make this like a mural. In this case, students the students felt more motivated because of the colors, of the designs, and all of these things. Okay, so now we're gonna do this, this summary in our Padlet website. I don't know if you could share. Okay, there you have the code. And there also you have in the screen the cultural expectations and leadership. Please, once again, you have to make your own summary. And of course, don't forget to mention your name because it's something important for us. In this case, you have 5 minutes. Okay, take into account that is something that you understand about this reading, so it doesn't matter it is too long or maybe too small, the paragraph. Well, in the case that maybe you don't have access to Padlet, you can write in the chat soon, okay? Okay, so we have 2 minutes left.
Hi there, Erika. Hi, this is Janet. Sorry, could you please share with me again the QR code?
Okay,
Thank you so much.
there you go. Okay, we have one here. The culture is different from one country to another. Okay. Okay, we're gonna give you, I think, 1 minute more so you can write quickly there. Okay, we have, please don't forget to mention your name there because it is something really important for us to know, okay, who is participating. Okay, so there we have, it is depend of the country and people, okay. Okay, Marjorie, we have a lot of, okay, super, I don't know if you can help me with the screen, dear Evelyn, because it is too small to read. Okay, Marjorie, thank you for participate. So for details, we have she worked in Brazil before. She was a project manager. She was moved to Sweden. She struggled with her teamwork. She perceived a different work dynamic than her last job. She asked for help. She had an open conversation and she learned how to motivate people than other groups. Okay, thank you, dear Marjorie. Okay. As I mentioned before, if you cannot write there on the Padlet, you can also write here in the Zoom chat, okay? Okay, so, well, we have another option. If you prefer to say your summary out a lot, that is allowed in the case that you cannot do. So we have from Janet. In this reading, we have a clear example of how the cultural difference can make us think. Great point. That people are against to us when it is not true. Great. And I agree with you, Janet. Patricia, we have Gabrielle emailed her Swedish manager for guidance rather than giving direct solutions. The manager asked her reflective questions to help her find her own way to handle the situation. Great, thank you. There are different cultures around the world, and has a magic impact in different issues. Business is an interesting field where people make deals using different styles and culture gets an important role. The reading gives us a clear idea how cultures played an important role. Thank you, Erika. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for participating during this activity. Okay, I would like to mention here some recommendations in the case that you're gonna put into practice. Well, it's important to provide clear instructions and not for guided practice in activities. For instance, if you want to apply skimming or scanning or maybe summarizing, this is important because we are going to help students understand the text better and use these strategies effectively. Additionally, focusing on key skills such as locating information and understanding main ideas, maybe in short and long text, is useful. As I mentioned before, you could use some color pencils and highlight ideas maybe. And finally, teaching students how to manage their time and prioritize tasks will help them use their time well and stay focused during these activities. So I think that, well, in conclusion, this study shows us that the intensive reading approach can help us to improve literal reading comprehension. And intensive reading approach not only help students engage more with the text, but also, as I mentioned, boost their motivation. And thank you for your time and attention. And we are now ready for any questions that you have.
I have another question. How do you observe the teamwork in the class during this kind of activities?
Okay, sorry, once again.
Yeah. How do you perceive the teamwork, the collaborative work during these kind of activities? Because in my experience, it's difficult, for example, when you are reading the text to catch the attention from the other students because they feel distracted. So how do you manage this kind of situation?
Okay, from my experience, it was useful to try to work with groups that they are know each other. In this way, they felt more motivated to do, and also try to use pictures, a lot of pictures, and color pencils, because in this way they can highlight the line which is the idea. And I don't know, in your case, Evelyn, you could suggest some piece of advice.
Well, let's say my class, my partners, sorry, it's important that when you create the groups, the student is is randomly, when is my friend or is this, because they are more encouraged to pay attention and try to do the activity. Obviously, there are other thing important how the teacher manage this. For example, they try to monitoring monitoring during this activity, and so the student can ask if you problem, try to do when the teacher asks about the different activity. Okay.
Thank you so much, dear colleagues.
Okay, maybe do we have more questions? I think no. So now, Evelyn, we have questions for our participants.
Okay, now with the finished activity for this webinar, I decide to do a Kahoot game where you need to ask a few questions to know I understand the topic. And so now I share the code for this game. Okay, wait a minute. Start.
While Evelyn and Erika are presenting the final game, please do not forget I shared the link for you to register your attendance of the webinar. So you can please open the link and register your attendance. No, thank you so much.
Please, can you join in this game? Okay, I send the link maybe to do more easy to join the game.
Thank you.
Or you
In
can.
the chat is better. Thank you.
Okay, so don't be shy, please participate. This is our last activity. So you can join, please. Okay, I think we have enough with register.
Wait.
Well, in the case that you cannot access, as we did, just write on chat and doesn't matter, okay? So
I don't think it's necessary to register, so you can just avoid registering, and then you can enter to the app, so you can start answering the questions. And actually, if you haven't used it before, this Kahoot is a great tech tool that you can use with your students in class, not only to evaluate, no, but to play and to do fun activities with your students. So through this app, Kahoot, that Evelyn and Erika are using, what I do sometimes in my class is I play with my students, because you can use the play mode as a group, or they can do it in groups, they can do it individually. You can do kind of summative evaluation with the students, or before or previous the class, or sometimes if you use in your classes the flipped class methodology, you can ask the students to watch a video before or previous the class, or do a reading activity, as Erika and Evelyn are presenting. Do a reading activity previously, and then at the beginning of the class, you can start with a Kahoot, like answering some short questions, so you can see if the students did their homework at home, no? That's the idea. It's a very nice tool.
Okay, Evelyn, so we can start.
Okay.
Okay, we have what is literal reading comprehension. Guessing what the author wants to say, finding the exact information that is clearly written, understanding hidden meanings in a text, or giving your opinion about that story. Okay, the correct answer. Okay.
Okay, I can explain a little more. Literal reading comprehension is understand. I sorry the words I forget now. The literal reading comprehension that I mentioned before is the first level of the understanding, and so in this case, when you try to implement this activity, is only the student to exact information that is clearly writing and not to more understand to need to think aloud of this is only this the writer write a specific thing is the same that to find the answer or different questions that you write. Okay.
So we have 80. Thank you, 80. Okay. What is intensive reading? Scanning a short extract detail meaning, reading for fun without paying attention to details, reading title and pictures, or reading quickly to get the meaning. Okay, so yes, scanning a short text to extract detailed meaning. Yes. Thank you, Smith. There are 3 stages of intensive reading. True or false? Thank you, Marjorie. We have true. There is true. Okay. Let's check. Yes, it's true.
So can you remember what is the 3 stage of the intensive reading? Can you write in that song or can you? Okay, thank you, Marjorie. Is pre-reading, during, and post-reading. Thank you. Okay, the next question.
Why is not an intensive reading activity? Skimming and scanning, multiple choice, or translating sentences? That is, we have translating sentences and Jessifer multiple, okay? Yes, we have translating sentences, okay? That is the answer.
And the last question.
It is appropriate to present new vocabulary during the while reading stage. True or false? Okay, true. That is true. I mean, true. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's false because it's more recommendable to present in the pre-reading activity where the student can guess or predict the topic.
That multiple choice questions we can do, because it is a good way that the students can feel more dynamic during this process. And translating sentences is not, well, it is not part of that. Okay. So, Eri Tenesaka, thank you so much, Eri, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's all, I think. Thank you so much for your attention and your time.
Thank you so much, Erika and Evelyn, for such an amazing presentation. Thanks again for showing us, no, for some of us to learn and for another ones to remember how can we teach reading, especially about the pre, while, and post, which is something that some teachers are not doing in their classes. And it's really important to practice first the vocabulary, to do some pre-stages where the students have to guess, or something before reading. Sometimes some teachers, we forget to do that, and then we have problems with the students not being motivated to do the reading. And while reading as well, so it's important, as you mentioned and you practice with us, how can we do some while reading activities and then the post reading, which is important. No, now giving a little hands up as well to Marjorie that she was mentioning about the interaction in the class, how the students can interact. We can always do these reading activities, changing the way of doing. No, we can do some running reading activities, or we can do, as you mentioned here in the example, the multiple choice questions, or filling in the blanks, or the students writing to guess the questions. Many things that we can do to improve active learning in class, and a part of that, the interaction among students, no, assigning each student a different task or something. So thank you very much, Erika and Evelyn, for such a great presentation. Thanks all of the attendees of the webinar. I know that taking an hour and a half of our precious time of our families is difficult, but I know how you value to grow as professionals. So please do not forget to register your attendance in the link. And this video will be posted today in our YouTube channel, no? So please make sure to check our YouTube channel, to go there, to give a comment in the video about what was the most interesting activity, or what did you like the most in the video, so you can receive your certificate, not only about attendance but for approval of the webinars, no? So Eric and Evelyn, thanks again. I hope that you are a member of ECUATESOL now. If not, please, I invite you to be part of us and then continue growing as professionals. And thanks for your help presenting this topic. So thank you very much. I really appreciate, and thank you from the different parts of Ecuador. No, bye Janet, bye Marjorie, bye Gary, bye everyone. See you next time. I will be posting the next date for the next webinar. So see you next time. Thank you so much and have a beautiful afternoon. Bye Gina, bye Doris.
Bye, Carlos.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you
Bye.
next month.
Bye.
See you
Bye,
next time.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.